I'm looking mainly at Hayward and Chatwood here, but like Chatwood's getting paid over 25 million over the next 2 seasons.
Yeah,
Like, what the hell? Why did they do that? He walked 8.2 batters per nine last season,
yeah. I think they basically
but they're not
they
that, it
looked
turns
at his
out.
stats that were not particularly good at call. Like, oh, this it's Coles Field and stuff, and then yeah, and it's just not worked out at all because I think he's always had a high walk rate, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I think it was higher. Or 8.2, silly, ridiculously high, but it's always been pretty high. Um, and that is nothing to do with playing at Coors Field. That is just like if you walk that amount of people, you're going to be not great wherever you play, unless
yeah.
you just strike out a lot. But
You're not good at the baseball. You've got to strike out a lot to walk
yeah,
eight per nine. Though. Like you
but I
got to
mean, like,
strike out the other guys.
well, like 2017, year before he became a free agent, he walked 4.7 per nine, which is still ridiculously high for a starter.
Yeah, it's still rubbish.
Just
Um,
8.2 is like all time, all time bad.
yeah, so I assume he's just going to be kicking around in the bullpen. Um, their bullpen was not great last season. It shared Brad Brack and Xavier Cedeno, which is like that should maybe help a bit, but it's just it's just disappointing, I think. I know why they've
Yeah,
done it, and their payroll is actually quite big, but it's just a bit of a shame when you've got a team with the core that they have,
you
and
feel like they've sort of done so. They've won the World Series or around then. Um, they basically have sold everything, haven't they? For now, and it worked because they won it. I suppose they say it worked, but it's like a very different view to like a different approach to say like the Astros, where they managed to win the World Series and they've still got like two like really highly rated prospects coming up like this year.
yeah,
Like the Astros could still get better from here.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. And like they won the World Series a couple of years ago. But like the Cubs, I mean, there was talk of the dynasty at the time. Like after they like it seems to be every time someone wins the World Series, but it's like didn't really see it. Basically, well, I mean, for those that don't know, they traded away Gleyber Torres and Eloy Jimenez. And we're going to see what Eloy does this year probably. But like
we've seen what Gleiber is like.
in a couple of months, that could look terrible. I mean, there's always the justification of winning the World Series, but like I don't think those moves didn't help. Well, the Eloy Jimenez one was after the World Series because it was for Jose Quintana. It was not good.
But that trade's really interesting, I think, because even if you look at the way that baseball's changed since that trade, or perhaps it was starting to change then for certain teams, um, guys like Quintana are just less valuable. Like he's
Yeah,
basically his whole career, save 2016 where he was a bit better. He's been an innings eater, a pretty good one. I
it's
mean,
basically
actually, he's got worse since he went to the
yeah,
Cubs. But he basically he throws a lot of innings and is quite good, but not an ace. And they
yeah.
gave up. So Eloy was already regarded as like this guy could explode when he gets to the major leagues and become a superstar.
And
And
it's
I
looking
get,
is and well, yeah. And since he's looking like that is the track he's on, and
yeah, yeah, but like I just don't think those trades are getting made anymore. And the Archer one comes into that bracket as well. This like
yeah, it's
starting pitchers are basically less
overpaying
valuable.
horrendously. It feels like now.
Oh,
I've
it's hideous. It absolutely looks like a hideous, hideous trade, even if he's really good this year. Because they also now don't have an outfit. Their outfield is their weakest spot of the
yeah,
team.
yep. I basically like if you look at this team, so okay, so they wouldn't have had a Rolders Chapman, who I don't think actually made any difference in them winning the World Series. Really, if anything, it was a detriment. um, so you imagine right now if they had Gleyber Torres playing last year and Eloy Jimenez just about to come up, added to this team, they are like, well, they are then in the category of super teams, aren't they? With the American League guys, I think maybe,
Yeah, well,
or
and then you add some of the other stuff they've done recently. So Cole Hamels actually did well for them, didn't he? But some of the other trades they've made where that's then seen them take on money
yeah,
that would have freed them up to do. So it's just they've basically felt like they've built a roster of the way that baseball was done in like five years ago. It's already
Yeah,
become a bit outdated, and that's just like the length of contracts is going to dictate that to an extent. But the rotation you're
yeah.
looking at, it's like there's a lot of like, yeah, these
I
guys should
suppose
be
like
guarantees, but
what they've done with these like win now moves is they've made it so they've got like a decent team that's going to be competing for like a while. But if they just held their nerve, they'd now be like, they'd be looking at being like among the favourites for like the next few years. Like
well, I
actually,
guess
like that's when there's the actual chance of a dynasty. I feel like when you've won the World Series and then you've still got like a couple of like the top prospects in baseball to come through.
yeah,
Well, Gleyber Torres was the top prospect. Actually, well, he got knocked off by Otani when he got signed, but so he was the number two prospect when he came up. Eloy
yeah,
Jimenez is the current number two prospect as well, and it's like, yeah, there's, yeah, I still remains to be seen with Eloy, but
Eloy's
Gleyber
three by
Torres
the
is
way.
looking like he's going to be like possibly going to be like a perennial all-star kind of player at the moment. What?
Eloy's three by the way. Not
Is
that
he?
it's really makes any difference. Yeah, Fernando
Oh, yeah,
Tatis is ahead of him
Tatis.
on pipeline, but yeah, get it though because of the drought. You're always going to be under pressure when you have a team that good, and Chris Bryant was having that season. I guess the other way is in 12 months' time we might be talking about this and go, actually those trades weren't as bad. Like if Bryant, like I don't know, if his shoulder means he doesn't hit for the same power anymore,
Yeah, then they're done, aren't they? They're
and
done.
a load
Actually blow it up again.
and some other dominoes fall. But right now, it's looking like maybe you don't win if you don't get like Chapman. And then, I mean, I've sort of found the Chapman deal astonishing at the time, and then when they didn't re-sign him and everything. But it's the Quintana one that really sticks for me. Was like
Yeah,
baseball was changed quite
and that
drastically,
was
and they
after um, they'd already got the World Series as well, wasn't it? Because you sort
yeah
of get the whole drought thing
yeah I
with
think
them being
there's
super desperate.
even in baseball where it can be kind of cold. It's it's hard to ignore the pressure on a front office and ownership
Like,
of like we've got a chance here. Get the
yeah,
guy who throws at 102 miles an hour. Okay, fair enough.
should we move on?
Yeah,
I think it's time to
actually,
move on because we've not
one
got huge
one
amounts of
last
time.
minute. They letting Jorge Soler go for Wade Davis,
Yeah,
who they then also
because Jorge
let go
Soler
for.
right now, actually, if they had him to play in the outfield, that'd be pretty handy. I mean, he was like there was a big hype around him, but so he's not quite lived up to that. But he's still like a very solid player.
An upside, huge
Yeah, I think
upside
there's
still.
still up. I think there's still upside there. Yeah.
Anyway, let's
So
go to the
we've
Cardinals.
not got that long. But yes, like both of our favourites, the Cardinals, despite being third. Well, why have you got them as favourites, Sam?
Um, mainly is probably a bit strong, but Paul Goldschmidt is a huge amount of it.
Yeah,
That he is astoundingly good, um, and reliable, and it's just not enough's been made of that trade that he is like a transformative player in the middle
yeah.
of your order.
I think he is. Yeah, because well, the news obviously about Bryce Harper and Mercado a bit, but like Paul Goldschmidt has, even though he basically never had as good a season as that one season Harper had, like whatever it was like 2015 or something, but like years ago.
Yeah,
But every year he's like, he's going to be like an all-star level every year, whereas Harper occasionally has like basically almost has a year off.
yeah,
Not We're not quite a year off, but you know what I mean. Like he's just not as good sometimes. Whereas Goldschmidt is always going to be like he's basically going to be the best hitter on your team like every year, guaranteed.
he's heading to the
Whereas
Hall of Fame, and it's sort of
I
no one seems to have noticed.
yeah, I think yeah. I mean, yeah, he needs unless he like gets injured and retires like very soon. But yeah, there's that combined with the second half of last season now actually pretty good with a load of, or they had like a good run at least with a load of young guys like breaking out and coming through and stuff.
Uh,
So it's sort of
yeah,
like those guys going into their second year, or like their first full year for some of them. Um, like could be even better, or
So
you'd almost expect them to like improve a little bit.
outfielders should be, well, okay, let's go with could be exceptionally good because Azuna had struggled when he first got there, didn't he? And then was a lot better in the second half. And
Yeah,
they've got Bader and O'Neill.
yeah.
That's pretty good. There's a lot of upside there. I mean, that's potentially going
And
to be like the best outfield in the National League, I think.
it's in the rotation as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Where they had all these guys, Luke Weaver.
well,
Luke
Weaver's
Weaver actually
got,
wasn't that good, but
and he's gone now.
oh right, oh yeah, whoops. Jack Flaherty though, but like yeah,
And they've got Alex Reyes coming up.
yeah, and Carlos Martinez, like whatever he's going to be doing this year.
Yeah, they've still got this like they just seem to have a collection of young pitchers, and it's quite impressive.
Yeah,
They just like hoard them.
I think I suppose Miklas is one of these cases where he's sort of a bit of an unknown because he's 1 year really. But I'd be a bit surprised if he's that good again. Because like whatever
Yeah,
he is, he's like, he's suddenly like one of the like elite guys if he puts 2 of those seasons back to back. 200 innings, 2.8 ERA. That's Cy Young numbers, isn't it? Really.
yeah.
But
I don't, but
so
there's a lot of upside in the pitching. There's just
yeah,
so much upside there.
and the
And
depth as well. They've got a bit of depth.
yeah, yeah. So I think there's quite a lot to like in that. And then going back to the lineup, you've got, I mean, health is obviously part of it. But like Paul de Jong had a 7.46 OPS last year.
Yeah,
He's probably going to be better than that. And you've got Matt Carpenter on the
yeah.
corner.
I think Matt Carmen is another one, a bit like talking about Goldschmidt, who's sort of underrated because he's just like really. I think he's not as Goldschmidt, not quite the same level, I don't think, but he's just really good, or at least really good, just every year, like ultra consistent.
His lowest over the last 4 seasons is 8.35.
Is lowest, yeah,
Yeah, and then the others are quite comfortably above that. He was a shade under 900 last year. Um, he
yeah.
he walks a lot as well. I mean, I'm always going to like
Yeah,
that.
this is so since 2013, his WAR numbers 6.5, 3.1, 4, 3.5, 2.9, 4.9. I mean, there's a couple there that like the freeze, which are like, but it's still like above average. That's still like good.
Yeah. So I think they've got real big breakout candidates. Although I guess Bader and O'Neill sort of already have broken out, but
Yeah,
do a bigger
they've got
full season for
they've got
O'Neill.
the combination of we need to stop really soon, but they've got the nice combination of like the experienced like stars with like the young guys coming through that like should be improving.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't even mention Jose Martinez, who doesn't really have a spot on the team at the moment.
Oh yeah,
Like he's just good. He's just really, really good, and they don't have anywhere to play him.
yeah. But yeah, I think they're kind of set up to be quite good for a little while yet. But anyway, we need to go now.
Okay, right.
See you next time for the NL East,
Yeah.
the big one. Well, it's quite a big one, but yeah. Anyway, see ya.
Bye.